Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recall Kadash, giving double honor to the apostle, elders of Great Millstone, peace and blessings of pushing his truth and sincerity in the Bible above. All right, so brother Napash Kadash coming at you with another lesson. Today being the Shabbat, so of course you got to get the Shabbat video up. All right, but the lesson today is telling you how that flesh is weak. All right, because we all know about the flesh and the temptations, the chains of darkness. All right, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. If not, then you about to learn it, but we all mostly know about the flesh. All right, so this is just a study up. All right, but I'm gonna get right into it. All right, this is Matthew chapter 26, verse 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into the temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right, so we're supposed to be praying that, we don't enter into the temptation, that the Lord keep us out of harm's way. All right, why? Because you want to ask the Lord, like, hey, keep me from these problems of the future, But if you're not praying for that, it's like temptation, one after another, because you didn't ask, You got to ask. A closed mouth don't get fed. All right. But because it say, but the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So the spirit inside, the soul, we want to do righteous, we want to do good. But sometimes that flesh kick in and you just be like, man, like now you all confounded on the inside. You got the devil on your shoulder, the angel on your shoulder, like how the cartoons show. And now you all conflicted and you just, you don't know what to do. Sometimes you lean toward righteousness. Sometimes you take a step towards wickedness. But it's the flesh. All right, you indulge in folly. You're gonna go off because that's what we do. We sin. That's the flesh. The flesh is, we don't have those pure minds yet. We don't have those pure bodies. All right, because the spirit doesn't want to do wickedness. But being in his flesh, the flesh it wants it. All right. The flesh is a challenge. All right. This is Mark chapter 14, verse 38. Watch ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak. All right. Say, watch ye and pray. There go again, lest you enter into temptation. You want to pray that you are not tempted, or that when you are tempted, you brought through it the righteous way. All right. Because you could think back to plenty of times where you was like, damn, had I just prayed my way out of that situation, or had I just had a little bit more faith. That's why you pray without ceasing. You pray day in, pray day out to the best of your ability. Me, for example, I got a poster on my wall that say pray. Every time I look at it, I pray, just as a reminder. All right. You got, like, when I fast, I take a piece of string and I put it around my wrist on my right hand, because I'm right-handed. So if I forget that I'm fasting and I reach for something, the string, it reminds me. All right. So you gotta have these things, these memorable things. They not always physical. You might have a mental note, like, all right, pray, boom. That mental note just gotta pop up, and you just gotta know. All right. It's to the point where I don't always have to put the string on my wrist anymore. Some days I just fast. All right. Some moments I just wake up and I just pray off rip. I don't need to look at the poster. Because you know why? Because I was praying and it built me up more spiritual. That's what it is. When you pray, it's like you moving more and more into a spiritual aspect. All right. But when you start to slack off, which is where that flesh kicks in, all right, you're going to pray less. You're going to fast less. You're going to be in the spirit less, because you're either going to be in the spirit or you're going to be in the flesh. The Lord said a false balance is an abomination to him. All right, so obviously you're going to have to indulge in the flesh and in the spirit, but you're going to want to fight toward the spirit. You don't want to just give in to the flesh. All right. He told us we was going to sin here. The whole point is to fight against it. All right. You don't want to be like, well, I know I'm a sin, so fuck it. What do the flesh want? No, you don't want to think like that. You want to think, well, I know I'm a sin, but let's see how many times I could prevent myself from sinning today. Because it's easy to say, well, bro, I don't sin that much, or I'll be watching what I'm doing. But when a hard situation hit the fan, You know, in the thought pop in your head, like, damn, should I do what's right or should I do what's wrong just to please it? Because when you do what's wrong, you please in the flesh. Does it feel good? Yes, that's the whole temptation of it. That's the whole temptation of it. It says, Mark 13:33, take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. Hey, take ye heed, so pay attention, watch and pray. There you go again. You gotta pray. You don't wanna, you don't know when your house shot coming back. You don't know when the Lord gonna snap his fingers and Jacob's shoulder pop off. You don't want to get caught in the flesh in those moments. You know, all you see is missiles in the sky and you just went off and now you wondering like, damn, am I gonna get saved? Like, you know, that's why you want to the best of your ability, stay out of situation. First and foremost, pray that you're not in those tempting moments, and pray that because eventually you're gonna have to be in one. All right, that's just the way it go. And pray that when you are in a tempting moment that you overcome it. You know, because you don't know when that time is. You know, you don't want to just. A lot of people say, "Well, I'm gonna get right next year. I'm gonna get right next year. I'm gonna get right." 2024. You don't know if that year is gonna exist. You don't know when your house shot coming back. All right. This is Luke 22, verse 40. And when he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that ye not enter into temptation. Here you go again. Pray that you don't enter into temptation. All right, because where's that temptation going to start with? The flesh. You know, it might be the Sabbath. You know, the Sabbath is contrary to what people believe. Yes, it is a relaxing day, but hey, it could be stressful too, because it's a lot of temptation on the Sabbath. Especially being in a wicked kingdom, that's what's going to happen. You know, the Sabbath is when most things are going on in the world, but like, you know, parties being thrown, you know, job interviews, whatever you need in life. Oh, you better believe on the Sabbath, it's probably available. You know, they might schedule you, they might not be scheduling you to work no more than the one day they schedule you on the Sabbath. Like, that's just how it go. Hey, that's why we got to pray that we enter not into temptation. You want to pray that you can keep the Sabbath. All right. This is Luke 22:46. It say, and said unto them, why sleep ye? Rise and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. There you go again. You know, you want to pray that you don't enter into temptation. You want to pray that your flesh don't overcome you. You want to pray that, that you strong in those moments. All right. You don't want to fold. You don't want to be like, man, forget it. What do the flesh want? Like, that's at that moment, you know that it's over with. You just committed sin. I can almost guarantee you that. Is always indulging in the flesh sin? No, because sometimes the flesh, you might want to Eve, or you might want to get a drink. That is considered indulging in the flesh. Now, things like messing with somebody else, Eve, because you got lustful eyes, that's going off. Things like, you got to go to camp, it's time for you to study, and now you're drinking 2-3 bottles by yourself, that's going off. So indulging in the flesh, is it always going off? No, but does it damn near always lead to going off? Yes. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 18. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. For though, okay, so always praying. Like I was saying earlier, you always want to be praying. All right. It's just how it go. If you want to beat the flesh, you got to always be praying. If you want to beat being carnal, you have to be in the Spirit. Because if you're not in the Spirit, you're doing something carnal. It's with the right hand or the left hand. You don't have a third arm in this situation. It's not. It's one or the other. I was tempted before I did this video. things was, I got other stuff to do, but I was like, you know what? Let me just stop 10 minutes, do this video. I'm gonna do a little bit of my other stuff, then boom, I'm gonna go read a chapter, do a little bit of my other stuff, boom, go read a chapter. You gotta kind of bounce back and forth. Are you gonna be in the spirit 24/7 from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep? I doubt it, because like I said, we in a wicked kingdom. It's a lot going on here. It's called the noisy city for a reason. All right, but should you fight to be in the spirit? Yes. Well, no doubt. I'm gonna probably finish it with this. It say 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 3. For though we walk in flesh, and we do not war after the flesh. Salakia, that's not the one I wanted. All right, this is Galatians chapter 6 verse 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the spirit shall of the spirit reap life everlasting. So, you sow what you reap. All right, so if you sow to the flesh, you're going to get the benefits and the downfall of the flesh. The benefits of the flesh, you're probably going to feel good for the moment, just for the moment. But the downfall of the flesh, you just went against the Most High. If you sow to the spirit, the benefits of the spirit is everlasting life. There's no downfall to the spirit. There's cons. When you're in the spirit, you might miss out on something. You might miss that. That might have been fun. But, the spirit, it pays. It always look out for you. All right? So there really isn't no con to the spirit. Because the spirit is going to lead you to righteousness. The flesh, although it may feel good for the second, you're going down the wrong path. Hey, but I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakal Kadash, giving double honor to the apostle. That is a great millstone. Peace and blessing for pushing the truth and sincerity in the Bible.